On 16th June, this is what a portion of a national highway in Kerala looked like. Amid heavy rains, the slope protection at Cherkala in part of Kerala had collapsed. This was along the Chengala-Nileshwaram section of National Highway 66. You can see a cracked protection wall and it falls within seconds as locals watch on. It was found that the cause of this collapse was poor design, inadequate slope protection works and poor drainage system. Something that we've seen in so many infrastructure projects in India, buildings, bridges, metro stations, highways, etc. In this case of NH66, a similar story unfolded. The highway had to be widened. For that, the concerned company or contractor had to cut through a hill. This left a steep, exposed slope right next to the road. And you can see that in the visual. The slope in question just collapses and falls down onto the road on the side. There's no protection of any sort. And as is the case with any construction, a solid base is needed, which clearly was missing in the case that we just showed you. If any work of such kind has to be undertaken, there has to be retaining walls and proper drainage systems in order to prevent erosion and of course this collapse. But in this case, reports say that the company in charge or whoever was making this sprayed a thin layer of cement to hold back the hill. And the results is something that we are seeing right now. But why are we talking about this incident? You see, the company responsible for this collapse is a firm who made headlines not too long ago for its donations to the Bharatiya Janata Party. So in this video, we'll take a look at that company, the donations it has made and its record as far as infrastructure projects is concerned. Hello and welcome, I'm Shubham Chauhan. Let's get started. Megha Engineering and Infrastructure Limited. They are a Hyderabad-based company, one of the biggest players as far as the infrastructure project sector in India is concerned. Megha Engineering is the third most valuable unlisted company with a valuation of 67,500 crore rupees. So that's a huge amount. In fact, even Road Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari had praised this company once in Parliament. So why are we talking about Megha Engineering today? You see, earlier this week, the National Highways Authority of India or NHAI took action against this firm. India's highway developer said that Megha Engineering cannot participate in the NHAI's future bids for the next 1 year. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways put out a press statement in that regard. It said Megha Engineering failed to execute adequate slope protection works that resulted in the collapse we saw on this 37-kilometer patch of NH66 in Kerala. Hence, they have been debarred for a year. They've also been slapped with a show cause notice for it and a proposed penalty of up to 9 crore rupees. The ministry said that Megha Engineering must now reconstruct the failed stretch at its own cost and also maintain this road for the next 15 years under its contract. Now, this highway project was built on something called hybrid annuity mode or HAM. Under this, the concessionaire has to maintain this section for 15 years. And Megha Engineering is both the concessionaire and promoter of this highway stretch, NH66 in Kerala. The Road Transport Ministry has also formed an expert committee with senior scientists of the Central Road Research Institute, retired professor of IIT Palakkad, and the Geological Survey of India. This committee will visit the site and review the design and construction of NH66 in the state of Kerala. Now, if you just take NH66 as a case study, Megha Engineering is not alone. Last month, a 250-meter part of the elevated highway collapsed at Kuriyad in Malappuram district. This was on a 55-kilometer stretch of this National Highway 66. On the 22nd of May, NHAI debarred a company called KNR Constructions Limited from all ongoing and future projects for a year. Officials said the collapse in Kuriyad was because KNR Construction, which is again a Hyderabad-based company, their failure to assess soil strength and improve ground conditions before construction led to this collapse. And so similar action was taken against KNR Constructions, including penalty and rebuilding the affected patch, etc. But now let's look at Megha Engineering, because this is not the first time that the company has come under scrutiny for its shoddy work. And let's look at some examples. In 2022, a vehicle underpass which was under construction collapsed at Periya in Kerala's Kasaragod district. 13 construction workers had a narrow escape. Reportedly, that structure collapsed due to lack of strength of pillars set up for concreting. Again, Megha Engineering, the company which was responsible for this. An inquiry was subsequently conducted by a set of experts, but no action was taken against this company. More recently, here in BJP-ruled Maharashtra, the Mumbai Metropolitan Region Development Authority or MMRDA floated tenders for two huge infrastructure projects last year. One was an elevated road and the other was twin tunnels. Both these projects will connect Mira Bhayandar and Thane, which are on the outskirts of Mumbai. These projects were worth a combined 14,000 crore rupees. That was the tender value. Larsen & Toubro, a noted company, was the lowest bidder at the time for these projects with a combined bid of about 12,000 crore rupees. Later, MMRDA cancelled these bids by L&T, saying the company had not submitted one affidavit. In that affidavit, the company had to declare that no bridge built by this company had collapsed within 2 years of completion. MMRDA says L&T did not submit this affidavit, and hence their bids were cancelled. Eventually, these tenders were taken by the MMRDA from L&T and handed over to Megha Engineering, which was next in line with a combined bid of about 15,100 crore rupees. So, L&T took MMRDA to court, saying that disqualification was unfair and discriminatory. The Bombay High Court dismissed L&T's petition, and this matter subsequently went to the Supreme Court. But the top court asked MMRDA how L&T's bid can be cancelled just like that. Eventually, the MMRDA decided to float fresh tenders for these projects altogether. Last year, Megha Engineering was in the news once again. This after the CBI filed a case against them over allegations of bribery in connection with works related to the Jagdalpur integrated steel plant. So that was the list of examples where Megha Engineering was in the limelight. Now, let's come to the BJP bit I was telling you about in the introduction. Remember electoral bonds? An opaque mechanism brought in by the Modi government where companies or individuals could donate money to political parties with complete secrecy. The Supreme Court had ruled that this scheme was unconstitutional. This was declared unconstitutional in the year 2024. Subsequently, the court ordered all the data regarding electoral bonds, donors, receiver to be put out in the public. And as data showed, Megha Engineering was there right up, the second biggest buyer of electoral bonds, purchasing 966 crore rupees worth of poll bonds between 2019 and 2024. Of this, they donated the highest amount of about 664 crore rupees to the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, followed by, of course, giving 195 crore rupees to the Bharat Rashtra Samiti BRS, 85 crore rupees to the DMK, 37 crore rupees to Jagan Mohan Reddy led YSRCP, 25 crores to the TDP, and 17 crore rupees to the Congress. Its subsidiary, Ghaziabad-based Western UP Power Transmission Company, gave another 80 crore rupees to the BJP. But in total, if you add up all of this, the Megha Group, including its engineering arm, which is Megha Engineering, donated 1,186 crore rupees in electoral bonds. Despite reports of shoddy work, the company then went on to bag crucial infrastructure projects. And as data showed, the reason too now seems clear. You can join the dots and everything seems to make a lot of sense now. NHAI's recent punishment to Megha Engineering is the first time, at least in public memory, that some action has been taken against the company for bad work, for poor quality of work. But how much of it is actually implemented in reality will be a different story altogether. As we are recording this video, Megha Engineering has not made an official comment as far as NHAI's actions against them are concerned. That's all we have for this report. Thanks for watching.